Hey guys, it's John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com. Thank you for joining us here on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the little blue bell to be notified of our upcoming videos. This video you're watching today because you are with your partner and you're trying to broach the subject of either a swinging or more of an open, consensually non-monogamous relationship. There are plenty of us out there that are in this relationship model. It's becoming more and more popular. We know many couples over the years that have had long-term, very successful relationships that are more open, where they might go to swingers clubs, or they may have play partners they might play separately, together. There's so many options. And many people have emailed us and said, how do I broach the topic with my partner? And so this video is, you can just say, hey babe, let's watch this video together. Or hey honey, let's watch the video. And this will set you up for some conversation, hopefully some good conversation you'll have, whether you decide to try it or not. It's just a way to really to broach the topic.
Right. This video is for the person in the partnership that's interested in this, and video is for the people that have like, what is going on?
Yes. So at this point, the most important thing that Jackie and I feel you have to talk about is whether or not you have a solid, good relationship. Because if you don't, if you're having troubles with dishonesty or trust, or you find yourself fighting all the time about little things, then it's so important before you go any further, right, to deal with those issues. Yeah. It's so important to have a great relationship. Being in an open relationship isn't going to fix a bad relationship.
No. Well, and you've also got to get past the stereotypical comments about those of us that are in consensually non-monogamous relationships. Those comments about like, oh, you must not love your partner, or why did you guys even bother to get married, or just all those really surface level comments. They get so caught up in the sex side of the topic that they completely forget about the fact that, like John said, the foundation of the relationship has to be strong enough for you both to be able to stand on in order to even conceptualize, inviting other people into the relationship. So these relationships are really founded on an enormous amount of strength. And when we say strength, we're talking, about trust and empathy and compersion and communication and comprehension and just all of those, like really emotional ties that we have to our partner. So yes, you absolutely have to have those things, because this is not going to fix a relationship that's already having problems. The relationship has to be really, really healthy.
Yes. So if you are having problems, we suggest fix your relationship problems first. That means going to a therapist, a counselor, someone to maybe help you work through it, if your desire is to stay with your partner.
And if the relationship is strong and your partner has suggested it, please remember that they're suggesting this not because they feel that there's a deficit in the relationship. They're suggesting it because it is strong and that they see this as an asset, right? So your partner is not trying to be the enemy here. They're trying to work together with you. Like, what can we do together? Yes,
and you bring up how it can enhance the relationship, and we have many videos on here, and Jackie's also written some articles about how having a consensually non-monogamous relationship has so many benefits. And we've seen it help so many couples in their relationship. So many. And one of the basic ones is just the variety of sex, and then the great sex that we have together, through all these years being in this kind of relationship. So the how it's benefited us in our communication, and other people too, in their honesty with each other, and their trust grows. It's really amazing the things that can happen, and how your foundation, if it's strong, can become so much stronger.
Yeah. But we get it too. We get it. If you're new and you're watching this, you're just like, oh my God, it's just about the sex, and this is just freaking me out. So, just let's just kind of ease into that.
And then something to look at is, what is your motivation for wanting to open up the relationship? Right. It's really key to talk about that. If you have a good relationship and good communication skills with your partner, then that's something you can definitely talk about after you watch this video. Why is it that you want to open the relationship? What is it you're exactly looking for?
Right.
And then, be willing and open to discussing that with your partner.
Like, for instance, like what were some of the reasons for us when we opened up our relationship? I think for me it was that sense of freedom, to really retain my authenticity within a relationship. For me, there's so much melding with another person to begin with, but to still be able to feel as though I could make decisions, based on, things that I had or desires, or just being able to keep those friendships that I'd always had.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing for me, and just to be able to share experiences together. It's just, it's another layer that you can add to the relationship, another conversation context to have, right?
Yeah. And then, sexually, to be able to share, we love having sex with each other, and to be able to share that with another person,
right,
and then talk about it afterwards. There's so many beautiful things that have happened when it's come to that aspect of it, our open relationship.
Right. It's just taking that communication to a different level. Let's just kind of get honest.
Yes. And as you're talking through this with your partner, be sure and voice any concerns that you might have in it, and be willing to talk those out. It's
right.
really key. As you hear us talking here, we're mainly focusing on communication and being willing to listen to what your partner has to say. Be willing to listen to your partner's fears that they may have.
Right.
And being willing to accept a no. You may be looking at this with your partner right now, and they may be saying, there's no way I'm going to do that. And that's okay too. You have to be willing to accept that. Maybe in the future, seeing this, they may open their mind up to it down the road.
Exactly. The more freedom that you allow your partner to have in being able to work through the concept, I'm not saying the more likely it's going to happen, but you have to honor your partner enough to say, here's something that I'm thinking's maybe going to be a great introduction that we can have into our relationship, and I want to hand it to you, but I also want to hand it to you in a way that I'm going to honor you and allow you whatever process that you need to do. I'm willing to answer any questions. I'm willing for us to both do research.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try some stuff out. Neither one of us know what's going on, so how can we kind of cling together to work our way through it? Absolutely no pressure, because you're gonna completely defeat whatever it is that you're trying to suggest.
And if it is upsetting for you to listen to this, to hear your partner say, I'd like to maybe try opening our relationship up a little bit, if it is upsetting, try and take a deep breath. It's nothing is happening. It's just a discussion. So let's just try and just leave it at that. A lot of times when we hear these things from our partner, we think that it's something that we're not doing. There's a deficit within us. I'm not giving my partner good enough sex. I'm not paying enough attention to my partner. And
I'm not being everything for my partner.
Yes.
Right?
And so listen to those and be willing to talk about those fears. And because when you're, in our case, opening up the relationship, Jackie doesn't have any deficits, but what this did is just added to our relationship.
Yeah.
It gave it more layers.
Right. It's funny how opening up our relationship actually created more gratitude that we have for each other.
It does.
It's
That's
a byproduct
benefits.
that maybe you don't think is going to happen. Like, I'm going to have gratitude for my partner if I'm with somebody else, but trust me.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, if you decide to maybe try it, and when we say try it, so there are many couples when they first get into what we call a lifestyle or an open relationship like this, or they may go to a swingers club, and there's plenty of those around. There are nightclubs where you can dance and drink and meet other couples, and then maybe there are some playrooms in the back, bedrooms in the back, where you can explore your sexual fantasies with each other, just each other, or with others. But you don't have to. You can just go to a club, talk to other couples, listen to their experiences, see what it's all about. You'll be able to see absolutely how happy these people are, and maybe it will help you make a decision. So we would encourage you not to close the door on it. At least do a little research and see how other couples deal with it. And if you decide to, don't push it. Just take your time.
We had a couple in one of our clubs, Colette. It took them 2 years, 24 months to work up the courage to come into the club. And it was so funny to listen to her later and say, like, I can't believe I was so freaked out about coming to the club. And, you know, and now I feel like I missed 24 months of just like really great, you know, friendships or whatever, because it ended up being such an incredible experience.
Yeah.
But, you know, you give yourself that space. You know, 2 years sounds like a long time, but because both of them were really steadfast in working together, you know, it's that adage of, you know, you can only go as fast as the slowest person concept. That's why they were now in the club and they were both having a really great time.
That's a great example. It is. And then what you need to do is to discuss the different aspects of what you might want to try in the relationship. So do your research, see what's out there, the different types of relationship models that you might want to try. Be open to discussing it, and then make a decision about what you want to do. At that point, you may want to set boundaries. There are many couples out there that have really steadfast rules that really protect them from fears that they might have. So a fear might be, you know, I don't want him kissing someone else because that's really just something between us. It doesn't matter the reason, but we hear that as a reason, and that's fine. You can make this relationship whatever you want it to be.
That's what's so great about it. That's what's so great about it.
And then talk about it. So you make a list of things that you're fearful of, your partner makes a list, and you sit down and you talk about those things. And then you can make an educated decision if you're able to overcome some of these fears. And maybe you don't have any fears. Maybe you guys, after watching this video, you say, God, we're going in this week. Let's get going. And
right.
We've seen that happen many times as well. So
we have. I mean, the point is to remember that this is something, and I've said this throughout this video, I feel like it's about the two of you, right? It's about working together. This isn't something that your partner is saying that there's some kind of problem. This is your partner saying, wow, this is one more thing I think that we can do together. Let's just see what happens. We may love it, we may not love it, but, you know, I would much rather say, well, we tried it than, gosh, we just, you know, how come we never went ahead and tried this? I mean, sometimes the best answer that we can give ourselves is just push through and try it and see. And to also realize that, you know, just like with learning to tie your shoes, sometimes you have to do something over and over again. You know, sometimes it's that repetitive thing. So, you know, maybe you come to the club, but you don't have too great of a time. So you take a minute and then you come back. So, I don't know. It's just whatever.
And we have plenty of videos here on the YouTube channel that will talk about these things that we've been talking about. Boundaries, setting rules and boundaries, where to meet other couples if you decide to meet other couples, or singles if you decide to have threesomes as opposed to couple play. Many videos here that will cover those topics as you decide to move through this new adventure into... And one other thing, like if you do decide to come to the club, you can use it like research. You know, don't go play with anybody. Just sit and talk to the other couples that are in the club and ask them about their process through it. You know, get some feedback, kind of be a reporter. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. And if you want more information, you can sign up on our email list at openlove101.com. Definitely subscribe here to our YouTube channel. Click the little blue bell and you'll be notified of new videos that are coming out. In the meantime, have a great time.
See ya.
So did you learn something from that video? If so, subscribe below and you'll learn a lot more.